How's it going, everybody? Fun one to talk about today in something that I feel like should be discussed publicly. For those that don't know, there was a team back in the fall split that ended up going to the fall split major for South America. It was the second seed in Era Eternity, which we have done coverage on them, not in the greatest of light due to their circumstance, but the team that was basically being supported by them was Astromic, Lost, and KV1. Very talented roster, a ton of opportunity, and pretty solid results. They have, obviously, like I said, made a major. Team Secret has definitely ascended most recently, but over the course of the entire year, both through fall, winter, and spring, they've essentially always made top four. They've been in the conversation of making it to the major.
El juego y sacarle provecho y sacarle toda la carne. Perdóname, el jugo de esa carne, mi querido Carlos.
Pues mira, nada más sacaron, pero ahora hasta el exprimidor, manito, porque todo lo echaron ahí y con ello ese jugo palpado en la portería. 2-1 el marcador, regresa a T-Club. El primer gol fue un error, dicen. El primer gol fue un error, no debía haber pasado. Echamos ahí la pata al partido. Fue mera suerte, ¿no? La típica, ahorita puede estar mencionando T-Club, porque al final, mira nada más, regresan, retoman las riendas del juego, logran tomar el control de nuevo del partido, se anteponen ahora en contra, sobreponen, perdón, en contra de Atypical. 2-1 el marcador y hay mucha...
¡Ah, qué golazo!
¡Ay, manito! ¡Vuela! ¡Hasta Diosito está festejando! ¡Hasta Jesús va a revivir con ese disparo, hermano! ¡Qué manera! ¡Qué combinación! ¡Qué deleite para los...
Cansa el defensa a pellizcar un poquito la pelota, le permite que no quedase servidita, y ahora sí estaba, era bueno el pase. Astromic viene como infiltrado, incomodando la pelota que queda perfecta para los... No, desviado, estaba la defensa preparada, y Card se le da crédito de la tapada. Está ahí el segundo o el tercero de Furia, ya veremos qué es lo que termina pasando, pero se huele a gol y el disparo va a ser bueno. ¡Qué golazo de los que zapatazo! Lo cruza y te decía, se olía, y cae el empate de los chicos de T-Club.
Y que lo estaba intentando, mucha presión y mirando desde la manda.
And that's probably my favorite thing about the South American region. I know a lot of you guys say you're South American, you're like, oh, I don't care, and you move on. But South America is hype. Every single one of their qualification matches to go to the major usually comes down to Regional 3 Grand Finals. It always gets down to the wire. This Grand Final match determines if they go or if this other teams go. It's sick. It's such a good time. In South America, the issues of their defense being way too overcommit has shored up and gotten cleaner. And you see how great teams like Furia can be, which is becoming easily a fan favorite. So South America is awesome. The only issue, though, is because Furia did so well in the majors, and I guess it's not really an issue, it's more of a blessing. Furia is guaranteed a spot into the main qualifications. They are in the group stage of the World Championship here in a few weeks in Fort Worth, Texas for the RLCS 2021-2022 World Championship. Because they've guaranteed a spot, in the wildcard bid, it guarantees South America 2 bids and no longer is the constant competition. Because Furia has done so well, second place and third place overall automatically get invited to the wild card. Those teams being Team Secret, who we just saw have the craziest upset ever against BDS in a sweep, and the club, the former Era Eternity team. The thing why this is so important is because out of all 24 teams attending the World Championship, the club is the only team that does not have org representation. They are fending for themselves. Obviously, Psyonix is going to cover room and board and travel and stuff like that. But the club doesn't have org representation, which is actually pretty surprising. Astromic ended up putting out a tweet saying the club is a team that's officially looking for an organization for Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth specifically, and talks about the team. And this has garnered some attention. You're talking over 3,300 likes. You're talking 180 quote tweets, 390 plus retweets. This has been a conversation that a lot of people are pulling for. And I think it's important. The fact that every single organization potentially at the World Championship is going to be represented. It adds a bit of prestige, I would say, to the esport when everybody involved from every single region has org representation. It makes it more serious, or it basically doesn't make it look like a lower tier of esport when organizations are willing to spend money and support from all of the regions, whether the results are there or not. And the club is a sneaky good team. Like I said, I think the results are no worse than bottom 4, bottom 5 throughout the entire season. They're very, very talented. In the last 2 regionals, I think they took second, only losing to Furia. So they are without a doubt in that conversation, and have shown to be better at times than others. And it also shows the depth and the benefits of, as a whole, what these minor regions are doing. For the first time, Sam, OCE, MENA, SSA, etc. are getting dedicated tournaments to play. You saw what happened with Falcons just a split ago, or just a few weeks ago, I should say, at the Spring Split Major. Taking second place as a minor region where you're able to compete for the first time in 5 years, pretty impressive. Sam, consistently top 6, which was a pipe dream back in the past, seeing minor regions take matches against top tiers. I mean, heck, for the first time ever, the second Sam seed won in Team Secret, and they beat the best team in Europe. You can't discredit that. It's pretty impressive. So my hope is by talking about this, the club garners, even if it's a little bit more attention. And there has been some advocacy. If you guys haven't seen, and this actually trended a little bit, the tweet was hashtag loud no RL, and this ended up trending actually for a brief moment. Because for those that don't know, obviously a full Brazilian team wants to be represented by a Brazilian org. If you guys don't know the esports organization LAWL, they were founded, I think, back in 2019 with Play Hard. They're like influencer content creator for like mobile games. If you guys have never heard of Garena Free Fire, it's a mobile BR that like one of their world championships or something like that garnered like 3.3 million concurrent views, which is unheard of. It's like an insane amount because mobile gaming go hard with embedded and all that kind of stuff. But they ended up making then in Riot Brazil with League of Legends and everything else, LAWL or LAWL Esports. So Brazilian organization looking for Brazilian representation, and fingers crossed for them. But you're also seeing a lot of other organizations like Las Vegas Inferno, Team Singularity, and others kind of just poking and prodding and showing attention. So we're hoping that by conversing about it and bringing it and shedding it to light, not only do they have a really cool story in hopes of them coming in as a wildcard third seed and playing upset, but also the capabilities of getting the players and everybody else taken care of. So fingers crossed. I thought it was a cool story, and the fact that they are the only team there that will not have representation, it's kind of sad. Maybe at this point, I'm just going to give them Lawler Esports. I'll give them like crisp high fives, and that'll be their payment. Jokes aside, hoping that organizations, if you do watch this and stuff, you go hit up Astromic and the rest of the guys, as they do definitely need representation, because they are a very solid team and one of my favorite dark horses coming into the World Championship, which is only a few short weeks away. But more cool stuff like this, obviously, hopefully in the future, like press conferences, as well as gameplay videos, and some other things that we have in the works in leading into the World Championship. If you guys have any other ideas, let me know in the comments down below on what you would like to see on the channel. And while you're down there, links to everything we're talking about in the description, along with my social medias. If you could give those a like, as well as the video, and hit subscribe to turn on notifications, it helps me out greatly. That is going to do it for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.